Conquering the learning curve from hesitation to award-winning and published author. Information is crucial for your success. It protects you from life's uncertainties and others' intentions. Knowledge is crucial in the age of information, and it helps us stay ahead by connecting facts in innovative ways. Now, some people have a negative perception of learning based on past experiences, and that can hinder your personal development. But learning requires time, energy, money, and focus, and some discomfort and challenges along the way. And while the early stages of learning might be overwhelming, it can lead you to the fact that maybe it's not just for you. But as I mentioned, learning and information is crucial for you to achieve success and achieve your goals. With Serena, his personal experience of writing in college was really cathartic for him. He really enjoyed it, and it led to him thinking, maybe I should write a book. Now, the problem was, he wasn't sure exactly how to do it. He didn't have the information or the knowledge at that point in time how to go from great ideas and some writing into an actual book. But with some professors' encouragement and some strategic networking, those were the type of things that played a pivotal role in moving him forward, again, from hesitation to award-winning and published author. His passive mindset that he had, again, transformed because of these influences and this new set of information. He learned that writing is a proactive process and figured out in advance a process to do the writing, to make those ideas come to life. But there's a misconception that success is this linear story, and it's not. You have to acknowledge that you're always going to have to learn more, and there are going to be setbacks and tough moments. No success story is just this straight line towards your goals. It's full of ups, it's full of downs, it's full of roadblocks. It's never a linear story. And as you go along the process, it is essential that you question your assumptions, because assumptions are what shape the stories of one's life. Now, assumptions are necessary because we don't always have all the information we need. So in cases like that, we take what we do know and we build these assumptions. But oftentimes people get stuck in their assumptions. With assumptions, you've got to be flexible, because what an assumption is not knowing exactly what's going on, but assuming it's going to be a certain way. So you have to be willing to adjust your assumptions as you get new information along your journey and as you get more data and facts and statistics. But the impact of assumptions on the trajectory of your success is explored in Serena's book, Change Your Narrative, Change Your Life. Resistance to challenging assumptions is a real problem, and that's something that's going to hold you back. And you know what it stems from oftentimes? Ego, and the ego's desire for safety and validation. We'd rather feel safe and we'd rather feel validated than something actually be different than what we had assumed. And we have to make sure that we never let ourselves slip into that trap, because the ego's reluctance to embrace situations and challenging and biased views of the world, it's going to try to hold you back. As Serena talks a lot about in his teachings, ego is necessary, and there are some positive pieces of it, but it also is something that can be very negative and very, very hindering when it comes to you accomplishing your goals. So keeping that ego in check, especially when questioning assumptions, is something that you make sure you need to focus on. But the ego's resistance to growth, it can hinder success, and we really require constant learning if we want to grow and we want to accomplish our goals. Then there's procrastination. Procrastination is a universal trait driven by the body and the brain's desire to conserve energy. So it's a physiological thing. And that leads to, acknowledging that there is some laziness, which is another natural feeling, and the need that we have to actually create more effort to uncover new opportunities. We're fighting against these natural things like procrastination and laziness. But Serena had this big realization, and it was about self-publishing. He challenged those assumptions that you had to find a publisher and get a book published. And that wasn't the case. And with many of your goals, again, it's not a linear path, and it's not always just one path. And that's what Serena figured out with his network and his influences by challenging these assumptions. So Serena challenging assumptions, not just with writing the book, but in all aspects of his life, led to his amazing success and the things that he's achieved. And that's why he loves sharing these concepts with all of you. But assumption testing is a thinking tool in critical moments of importance. Serena talks about narrative a lot, and the sum of these assumptions sort of create that narrative. It's the story of one's life. And this is why it's oh so important to challenge those assumptions, because growth requires learning, which involves challenging your assumptions at a fundamental level. Again, the human body's tendency to be efficient leads to conservation of energy, sometimes laziness, sometimes procrastination, and we have to be aware of that. But dealing with that and the paralysis that Serena had of trying to get published and trying to figure it out, once he realized that self-publishing was an option, then he just had to figure out what are the steps to self-publish, and he was finding solutions. So understanding the gaps in knowledge during his book writing process was crucial. And that's that information, that's that learning, that's that challenging assumptions that allowed him to reach a goal. Had he not done that, all his wisdom and ideas and thoughts that he wanted to share with the world may never have taken place. And we certainly wouldn't be shooting this video right now, sharing this information with you. But you got to acknowledge the tough but enjoyable process of putting together the puzzle pieces for anything you're trying to accomplish, like Serena did with his book publishing. So realize that personal growth involves embracing challenges and learning from experience. The transformative process of learning is dealing with obstacles and then achieving success. The ongoing nature of the learning process, evident in Serena's repeated experiences in the book publishing. That's where we've seen it. So the connection between learning and personal initiative leads to you having a much better chance at achieving your desired goals, just as Serena has done with his book. Seeking knowledge, seeking experience, challenging assumptions, learning to keep the ego in check, making sure that he understood procrastination, laziness, and why we have the tendency to do that. That allowed him to deal with those challenges. And again, it's not just with Serena and his ability to go from an idea to an award-winning book. That's how Serena's achieved success in all aspects of his life. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and I'm sure that you did, make sure you like it, share it, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel.